yoga soldier, aka the yoga broad, Nelly. Coming to you straight from the G Show.
She got the camel toe with the humpback. Sally think I'm trying to hunch that. Camel toe with the humpback. Camel toe with the humpback. She got a camel toe with the humpback. Sally think I'm trying to hunch that. The bike shorts like a teaser nigga, cause you know how bad I really want that. Now I think it's time you let me beat it up, cause it's overdue, I'm talking months past. Take it to the crib since you wanna kick it. We can do the shit like a run back. Talking hands up, touchdown. Give me that, this a rundown. Heard what y'all kept asking for, so I'm giving y'all what you want now. Like hands up, down. Look at the score, I'm up now. Jewed up, I'm bust down. I bet she want me to fuck now. She want the weed, the cheese, the keys. Pull up to her mama, so leave the seeds. She get a rush from taking the risk, and she do whatever to be with me. Feel like I'm racing when we in the Porsche. We doing the beam like Need for Speed. Shorty gon' drop me when we on the drill and get me so close I don't need the beam. Stamina good, I don't need the bees. But fuck her like I'm on 230s. Shake her hips, sis on some fully shit. But this bitch is from New Jersey. She asks, do I know too rare? I'm like, no, bitch, Ken too sturdy. Watch cost like 80 bands, so my wrist worth like 2 birdies. I know you heard me, I ain't whisper. She gave me head and I ain't kiss her. 2 chicks that I been hit still fight each other like they ain't sisters. Same mom and the same dad. Ask for time that I ain't had. I ain't seen her in like 2 years, and she's surprised that I ain't miss her, but I ain't diss her. I keep it a stack with you, long as you keep it a stack with me. This ain't a bust down from the jeweler. These are the diamonds that came out the factory. I can get you rocked by a young boy. Got shooters that still go to mastery. No limits when I'm in this tank and it's camouflage like a masterpiece. She got a camel toe with the humpback. Sally think I'm tryna hunch that. With the biker shorts like the teaser nigga, cause you know how bad I really want that. Now I think it's time you let me beat it up, cause it's overdue. I'm talking months past. Take it to the crib, that you wanna kick it. We can do this shit like a run back. I'm talking hands up, touchdown. Give me that, this a rundown. Heard what y'all kept asking for, so I'm giving y'all what you want now. Like up, down, what now? Look at the score, I'm up now. Jewed up, I'm bust down, and I bet she want me to fuck now.
Why you tryna get me caught up? Got me feeling nauseous. Talking about some bullshit. Bitch, I ain't retarded. Tryna get me caught up. Bringing all this drama. I don't understand. I guess you get it from your mama. Out here acting stupid. Out here causing problems. And now you wanna crash. Ain't nobody wanna love you. I'ma send her roses. She deserve her flowers. Don't wanna hurt her feelings, but I left her looking sour. Girl, you know I can't leave you alone, cause you really looking good in my home. Damn girl, you the bomb. It really sucks that you ain't meeting my mom, cause I don't know if you wasted my time. You wasn't meant to be mine, but I like the way you're moving up and down. And when you keep it up, you make me buy a couple rounds. And when you in my bed, you know I like the way you sound, cause you're the queen bee, you need to wear a fucking crown. I'm a real nigga, look, I never been a clown, cause I'm all about my money, I'm a motherfucking hound. But the truth is, you the baddest in the town, so that's answering your question why I'm keeping you around. Tryna get me caught up, got me feeling nauseous. Talking about some bullshit, bitch, I ain't retarded. Tryna get me caught up, bringing all this drama. I don't understand, I guess you get it from your mama. Out here acting stupid, out here causing problems, and now you wanna crash. Ain't nobody wanna love you. I'ma send her roses, she deserve her flowers. Don't wanna hurt her feelings, but I left her looking sour.
She said she worth the pressure, but you press when you apply the shit. Trying to get me all caught up, just cause she fine as shit. Girl, if you gon' give me your word, you better honor it. I know it's niggas all on your line, and they trying to hit. I ain't got no time for the drama, so I gotta split. Playing all these games with my mind. Girl, you gotta quit. I ain't done, but we can have fun, cause I'm kinda lit. A little wine and shot at tequila. That's my kind of shit. You tell your girls all about us, like you proud of it. You know with me, the sex is the lead. With them, it's moderate. Bow flowers, fuck for some hours, then she swallow it. This girl trying to lead me astray, I'm not aligned with it.
Got me feeling nauseous, talking about some bullshit. Bitch, I ain't retarded, trying to get me caught up, bringing all this drama. I don't understand, I guess you get it from your mama. Out here acting stupid, out here causing problems, and now you wanna crash. Ain't nobody wanna love you. I'ma send her roses, she deserve her flowers. Don't wanna hurt her feelings, but I left her looking sour.
Good morning, good morning,
Good morning to you.
I said good morning to you.
How your mama know? How your mama know?
No, who it is. Bruno Brown, the Brown Brown. You locked in with DJ Nick, your mother effing Rick.
All about
All about progression. What is all about progression. All about progression. We ain't making no exceptions. Nah. Excuses, use. If you make it, might as well chuck the deuce. We ain't making no exceptions. All about progression. Just say they ain't believe that it'd be selfish. But they stopped supporting when they got jealous. On the wall, they somewhere where the shelf is. It's all butter and garlic over the shellfish. I'm on the road, Elvis. No matter what, I'm Gucci as my belt is. Thought I'd be dead, somewhere where Sulla is. But we out here making these movies, check out the trailer. They call me up to see if I'm fella. That shit ain't singing, that shit still selling. And my man just grabbed the boat, that shit still selling. I'm good no matter what y'all yelling. All about progression. What is about? All about progression. All about progression. We ain't making no exceptions. Excuses, use. If you make it, might as well chuck the deuce. We ain't making no exceptions. All about progression. God did, squad did. Free the guys in the jail, I know the pods did. The 6 and the 5 did. And even when they ain't see it, I know that I did. They asked me who run uptown. The last time I checked, we from uptown. The reason you couldn't come uptown. Godfather of this shit, boy, some that. All about progression. What is about? All about progression. All about progression. We ain't making no exceptions. Nah. Excuses, use. If you make it, might as well chuck the deuce. We ain't making no exceptions. All about progression.
I just love the way that first breath sounds on the mic. Good morning, world. Good morning, people. It's the Think Outside the Box podcast every Wednesday. None other than your favorite yoga soldier, aka the Yoga Broad, Nelly Yoga. I'm in the building here at the G Shop, beaming up. Oh God! Now I hear chef in my head telling me not to say beam up or in you. No, I don't snort coke, people. But I am here at the radio station at the spaceship, the G Shop, and it's all right outside. It's not too bad. I got my big sis in here. I'm always excited when we get to do, and it's an official crossover show. Yeah. Shout out to Lucci. Good morning. Top of the top. But you know, we got to start the show the way I start the show every Wednesday, people. We got to get our minds right and get prepared for this conversation. So if you were tuned in before weeks prior and you got your L, you got your lighter, you can still smoke a tape while we meditate. You can do it. Soften your gaze and allow your eyes to come to a gentle close. Focus. Wherever you are, in your seat, in your car, in your house. Inhale with healing, positive intention in through your nostrils. Unclench the jaw as you exhale, cleanse, detox, and release anything from the mind, body, and spirit that is taking up space and serves no purpose. Take another breath. Prepare your mind and body to release any heavy weight. And prepare your mind to come into this conversation with no judgment and an open, free-spirited mind. And come back into awareness, people. What's going on, Rise?
What's going on?
I'm always excited when I don't have to be up here by myself, and I love it when you're here, especially. And it's a crossover show.
You always ask about the crossover, and put the mic on.
Let me see.
Did I do that?
I don't hear you yet. Let me see. I think I talk.
It says it's on. It's on.
I don't hear you.
It's not on.
Huh?
Oh, go to the other. But that's not a problem because I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do this.
Yeah, there you go. Bam.
Yes. Official crossover, because every time I come, you're like, it's the crossover. And I'll be like,
I know we're not drinking.
I'm not drinking. But since 2 weeks straight, you missed my Black History beverage.
Yes. So I'm honored.
I'll bring it out.
Yeah, but let's
Still
talk
Black.
about
It's
it.
the last. Is today the last day or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
29th? Because you know
So we got
it's-
leap day tomorrow.
Oh, I have a friend whose birthday it is. I think they're turning like 10.
10. Isn't that awesome?
Anyway, so it's 10 to 1. Caribbean Dark Rum. This is a all black brand. The gentleman's name, I can't remember his name. Just go back and rewatch over
show.
a drink from Monday.
There you go.
And I do know the singer Sierra is involved, but this was actually their Black History release from last year. Has a painting, nice portrait on it. All the blues representing, the Africans across the diaspora. And so I made you a rum punch because you missed it on Monday, and it actually was like pretty tasty. So I figured.
Thank you, sis, because I needed it. I try my best to make it on Mondays, but those of you who know, that's good. Oh, that's good.
I'm saying.
Oh, breakfast of champions, people.
Hair of the dog.
Get you some 10 to 1, some, what we got? Pineapple juice,
Mango, and some, so for people who don't know, the recipe for a rum punch is Caribbean dark spice rum. So your favorite Caribbean dark spice rum, orange juice, grenadine. You can garnish it with some fruit.
Yeah.
You can switch up the juices. I actually used mango. Everfresh mango,
that
and
little
then
sip pack
because
of
I didn't
punch.
have any grenadine, I just poured the actual juice from the maraschino cherries in, threw some
All I
cherries
had was
inside.
a sip, y'all.
It's really good.
My stomach is hot.
It's good. That's the spice rum.
But I'm sorry I missed it, man. Like, so anybody that knows me know I'm pretty transparent about what I'm going through. And my mom has dementia, and it has been kicking our asses. So that's where I was at Monday. I wasn't able to do Lucci either. Shout out to Lucci. Thank you for also inviting me in on your show with Authentic Philosophies. But it's overwhelming, to say the least. So with me now being her home care provider and trying to balance the other things that I have going on in my life along with taking care of my mom is starting to really consume a lot of my time. But these are my outlets. This show, your show, Lucci's show, so I try to make those when I can because it just takes my mind off of all that I'm dealing with my mom. And then my daughter has some stuff going on. So it's like I feel like I'm constantly worrying about someone else other than myself right now. That's kind of why I look like I look, people. So don't judge me, judge your mom.
So whenever somebody's going through something or a lot of things at the beginning of the year, I always tell them, take it as a time to reflect. Because this happens to me. Like, I'm always moving, constant motion. That's my thing. I don't like to stop. And I do that as a defense mechanism. Actually, it keeps me from being absorbed in whatever it is that is ailing me mentally, emotionally, physically. I just keep moving. I prefer to try to be a service of others so that I don't focus on where I'm deficient or whatever is going on with me. So especially at the top of the year, like it's only February, about to be March. So we're still in the first quarter of the year. Whenever you're faced with, and I'm not a religious person, but I am one of those people that as a firm understander, not even believer, of things happen for a reason. And a lot of times when things keep happening, especially at the top of the year, which is all about renew, rebirth, they're happening for you to assess where you're coming from, where you're trying to get to, so that you can put those things in order. So it's the first quarter of the year, so that by the second quarter, you will have your ducks in a row, so to speak, and be in alignment with what your goals are for the last quarter of the year, so that when you go into the next year for that new cycle of rebirth and renewal, you'll be a little bit more on point.
See, this is why you're here, because I needed to hear that, because I'm just like, man, I don't even like saying that statement, life be lifing. Like,
yeah, no, life be lifing. I don't even know what the fuck that means. That's like Joan. It can mean any fucking thing.
Yeah, it's like, but I'm tired of saying it because it's just like, I feel like when it's said, it's never said like in a positive tone. It's always
facts. Like nobody ever says, "I hit the lottery." Life be life.
Right, with a smile on their face. It's like life be life, and like that shit is kicking my ass. And I'm just kind of tired of saying that, and I'm tired of feeling like that.
But see, and again, winter. First of all, seasonal depression is a real thing, and people seem to go through things more fall, winter, leading into the spring because they allow the seasonal depression to kind of control how they react to their environment. Like I'm learning to not do that. Like I wasn't even calling it seasonal depression for a while. I would just be like, I hate the winter. I'll be glad when it gets sunny out. And it's true. Like I do feel better, but like I said, I'm just gonna have to go someplace with some sun, absorb that vitamin D, and just get renewed, refreshed, and
But
Like,
you're dropping gems right there. That's education to some people who might not even recognize that that's what it is with them. You know what I mean? Like
it's a
some
real
people
thing.
really don't know how to identify when they're depressed, what their triggers are for depression. So
and everybody gets depressed. Everybody suffers, and I don't want to use suffer. Everybody has depression. Everybody expresses it differently at different times. Whenever it occurs for them, it manifests different from everybody. People suffer from depression when they allow themselves to be consumed by it, and that's how they operate.
And that's what I've watched, like with my mom. Like she suffers from depression and anxiety. I watch her, like she doesn't have coping mechanisms and things like she used to, sewing and things like that. But now she's so far gone from that. Like that's how yoga found me. And that's why I teach the way that I teach. That's why I'm so hell bent on, you know, just changing the narrative about the benefit of yoga. Because for me, it was never about the physical aspect of yoga. I just couldn't deny how it made me feel after a practice. It was like everything that I had brought in with me into that yoga session, onto that yoga mat, by the time it was over, that weight was lifted. And I'm like, okay, it almost in comparison to some of you people who are religious, like when you go to church on Sunday, how fired up you might feel after you leave. Let's use Enon for an example. And you feel so fired up, like Pastor Waller is talking directly to you and everything that he said applies to your life. And then maybe by Wednesday, you feel shitty again. As a person who grew up in the church, I don't feel like the church necessarily gave me the tools to learn how to cope with the things that I was dealing with in life.
I feel like the only thing church really gave me was fellowship.
That.
And that's the one thing I still will go to church for, to see people, to be communal, to feel, to be part of a community, for the gathering part. And it depends on who's speaking. I am a fan of a dynamic speaker because I'm not a religious person, but certain churches and certain pastors I don't mind going to see, and I do enjoy because of what they're saying. And you know, if it don't apply, I let it fly. I just take the religion out of everything I'm hearing because it makes sense. Like once you take the religion out and you can apply it to your everyday life, it's like, okay, I can relate to that.
There you go.
Me, if I try to keep the religion in it, I'm just gonna feel like I can't relate.
You're gonna
to
feel
that.
like I know for me, I kept feeling like a failure, right? Because if you try to live your life according to a religion and you feel like, okay, I'm supposed to, I don't know, pray 3 times a day, or I'm supposed to not eat these foods or consume these alcoholic beverages, and not for me. I just don't want any of that religious stuff for me, like in terms of how I need to live my life, how I need to move. If people just dumb it down to the basics of humanity, like just genuinely trying to be a good person, a fair person, shit'll get like a lot more simple for you, just in terms of what that lifestyle is going to look like and how your life can be a lot less stressful if you just do those simple things. Like, okay, I'm going to wake up intentionally in a good mood, even though I'm not. Like that, switching that mindset instead of waking up, woe is me, oh, life is so heavy, no, and I feel shitty. But if I still get up, put one foot in front of the other, like depression for some people, like my mom, she can sleep and stay in her bed for weeks, which isn't healthy.
Right.
Like, and some people can do that. I know for me, like if I'm depressed, I might be depressed, but I'll still be up and moving. But then I'll turn around, and when the dust settles and I look at my house, it's like, oh my gosh, shit is everywhere.
Right.
Everything is out of place. That's how I know I'm depressed or dealing with anxiety or something like that. Like my house will reflect how I feel. When I'm in a good space, everything is in its place. Birds are chirping. I feel like fucking Cinderella. Like animals are singing to me. But when I'm not, it's like shit is everywhere.
Yeah, your house is always indication of where you are mentally. For like a month, I was sleeping with all kinds of shit in my bed. I was like, ain't nobody else coming, so it don't matter. Like,
it was your office.
I would come home, I would put the pocketbook on the end. It was like Bluntvilles, like all kinds of shit was it. And I happened to look one day and was like, how am I even? I mean, it's a big ass bed, but I literally was confining myself to like
the
a
one-
very slither of it because it was like a folded up set of towels over here, like my work uniform over there, like literally. And I was like, all right, you got to cut this shit for real. Like, if somebody did decide they want to come over, now you got to get in the right mind and clean up.
Now you got clean.
Oh yeah,
Ah.
I was talking mad
But
shit to
sometimes
mad
that be the
people,
best
knowing that
cleaning.
my
When you know you gotta hurry up and get your shit together for people come
man,
over.
all that shit go in the closet. That ain't the best cleaning. That ain't the best. All that shit go in the closet, out of sight, out of mind. Then you open the closet one day and be like,
Everything
boom.
everything fall out. Oh God. So before we dive into what you talked about on your show, I just want to talk about a couple things we got coming up this week. Friday, DJ Alamo and friends is going
Yes.
down at Fifth Street Lounge. Make sure y'all pull up if you're an artist, you want to be in the building, you want to be networking, you want to meet and greet the judges and the different artists that are going to be there performing. That's going to be at Fifth Street Lounge. Don't know how much the tickets are, but pay at the door. If you like, it's just that simple. Saturday, I will be doing a line dance event. You can reach out to Marvelous at Marvelous Hair on Instagram. It will be in Fallcroft. Tickets are $20. Again, it is a line dance event, so people don't keep sending me all these line dances, and when I have these events, you don't show up. Like, you want to know them, you better come, because y'all know I gets it in with the line dances. So it is a line dance cabaret. It's Saturday from 9 to 12. Of course, the flyer says March 3rd. Ignore that, people. It's Saturday.
They thought tomorrow was the first two.
Right. Like, so the address is 1842 Del Mar Drive in Fallcroft, PA. Bring your fans. It's $20 in advance and $25 at the door. You can cash app at Marvelous Hair. It's $ Marvelous Hair. You can also look her up on Instagram. So y'all want to be there Saturday, people, from 9 to 12. It's going down.
Spell Marvelous for the people who might try to spell it the right way.
Yeah.
Because Cash App don't send you your coin back when you send it to the wrong motherfucker.
Yes, so the cash app for this event is $ M as in Mary, ARVAL as in Larry, OUS Hair, HAIR. All one word, no underscores, no caps, no nothing. And the hygiene drive. Make sure you drop off your stuff for the hygiene drive. If you don't know what hygiene means, body stuff. Send body stuff. Things that people can use: deodorants, soaps, body washes, mouthwash,
Maxi pads,
tampons,
Depends, diapers,
Depends.
adult diapers and children diapers.
You know, everything. So make sure that y'all drop off those supplies here at Glockaware 4933 Old York Road. That is Lucci's Hygiene Drive. You can also inbox her at Lucci, LOUCHIETOTE on Instagram. Also at Authentic Philosophies. Philosophies. All right. Did I miss anything? I think that's pretty much it as far as events.
That's about to be March already.
March Madness.
Third
I get excited. March
month
Madness
of the year. Like, that's crazy. Like, this year, you know what though? Last year, I remember March being the longest March on record. I feel like March did not end last year for a long time.
It's probably gonna feel like that again.
And then next thing you know, the summer was here.
Because Easter, now didn't Easter used to be in April?
So Easter
now it's in March now?
Easter changes, like, according to, I don't even know, because again, I'm not religious. Easter changes. I know sometimes it's in March, sometimes it's in April.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Same
I thought
thing
it was. I always thought it was in April. Since
Same
I
thing
was
with
a kid.
Ramadan. Like, we were entering the month of Ramadan also. And, you know, Ramadan's not always when it is. Like, some people be like, it's Ramadan's in the summer. It's like, no, it comes earlier sometimes.
Now, do you fast or do Lent and all that stuff?
I am not a religious person.
Thank
so
you.
I have no reason to for religious reasons. I think that people should fast anyway as a particular practice because it does help with discipline and other things. And I fasted for Ramadan
That was my next question. Have you ever
once.
fasted?
Yeah, successfully once for like the whole time. And that's when I was working at the Link, and that's because there were a bunch of other Muslim brothers there, and we would like kind of help each other.
So you had
through.
that support network.
Yeah, I had support. I mean,
Yeah.
I always have support, but again, because I'm not religious and it's not a requirement for me, if I don't complete it, I just don't complete it.
Right.
If I get hungry, a bitch gonna eat. Like,
Now, I've never fasted. I've never ever in my life
as a
fasted.
Christian, my father fasts time to time. My sister fasts. people want to intermittent fast for dieting, but like for all of your religions, in case you didn't know, fasting is a portion of it. It's a portion of it for,
it is. But I don't
40 days and 40 nights, and there's all different types of fast, and there's the Daniel fast I've heard of. All I know is Daniel fought the lion in the lion's den. I know the nigga ain't eat. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't. I have never tried fasting.
Oh, my cousins is
like
on.
that. Shout out to Roz and her folks on the IG over here. Shout out to everybody that's on YouTube tuned in, on Twitch tuned in.
But no, I don't fast intentionally. I've had those days where it's like, who I'm gonna feed, me or my kids? Kids got to eat, so I didn't eat.
Now that was fasting. Now I've done
For
that.
sure.
I've starved
sure.
on purpose or because I had to, but not literally like, okay, I'm gonna remove this from my lifestyle. I'm gonna stop drinking alcohol for 30 days. Never.
Yeah, I've done that. I have taken breaks from smoking weed. Like,
I think the break that I've probably taken the longest from weed is maybe a week.
Oh no, I've done longer than that.
No. And I'm a leech. I don't even know how to roll my own shit, but I promise you.
During both pregnancies, for a significant portion of them, I was fasting. And then at some point, it was like, I ain't eating. I'm throwing up. These kids is preemies, underweight. And the doctor was like, just use like a water bong or something. Try not to use those tobacco papers. I was like, okay, as I'm rolling the L.
I love you so much because you're so honest about and unapologetic about your shit. Like, period. Don't judge me, judge your mom. Period.
I mean, no judgment. It's like the whole thing, like going back to we was talking about depression earlier. Like, there have been times, like people have their different coping mechanisms. And when I went to William Penn High School for my senior year, and those who know J Street is a block away. I would leave school, go to J Street, and I'd be in the back of my classroom dipping. Why? Because I'm depressed. Like, why am I in school at like 9 a.m, come into the school like third in the class,
right?
And just don't feel like being there, don't feel like dealing with life.
Juvenile depression is real, people. Listen, don't think that because these kids are kids that they have no right to be depressed or stressed out about things. Acknowledge that.
I saw a stat the other day about how juveniles are now like making up a significant portion of people on some type of medication for their mental health. I was like, yo, and then I saw this funny TikTok or Instagram, whatever it was, where like the death came for a millennial. And the millennial was just, it was like a horror movie. There's like, that's why millennials can't be in horror movies. They was just like, I'm already dead inside, so let's go. Like, they were like, you take the fun out of it. And the millennial was like, can we do this? And I was like, like our children, the millennials, the zennials, and all that come after that, they are so numb to so much shit. Yeah, that like a lot of them really think like, being dead might not be so bad.
I mean, for them, it's almost like a rite of passage. Like, you're more famous when you're dead.
I like to fuck people head up. I used to be like, I like to say things like when they think about, it could be better dead, and I'm like, well, how do you know?
Right.
Have you ever been dead? You could be dead right now. You could be dead right now. You could be on a separate timeline from the actual life that you remember. And people could be mourning that existence, and you're just continuing in a different timeline. And like, I like to confuse people like that. Because we don't know what happens when you die. And we don't know. We know about things that existed before we existed because of history and other folks that existed that could tell us about that. But all we know is what we know, and that's our existence. Yeah. So I can't imagine not ever being here. I just can't. I can't imagine not ever.
This is why I love you,
here.
Because this be the shit that I be thinking about in my head, and I be like, yo, I got multiple personality disorder, some shit. Because I be talking to myself, and I be like, self, and self be like, But that be the shit that I be thinking about. Like, I don't know what this world. Not that the world revolves around me, and I'm that fucking special.
No, it actually does, because your world most certainly does revolve around you. What?
Thank you.
Like, I like to remind people that perception is everything and nothing at the same time. Because how you perceive things is your reality. That is your existence.
Yeah.
But how somebody else perceives it, that is their reality.
Yeah.
That is their existence. And you can't tell them it's not, because just that's not how you see it.
Right.
You just don't see it. You're not going to see what they see. Like, all I know is, like, because I since I got knowledge of self, one of the big question, and I would never forget, one of the reasons why I made a conscious decision as a teenager to leave the church was because I left, children's Bible study, and I went upstairs and I was sitting in an adult Bible study, and I don't exactly remember what they were discussing, but I remember asking a question and being told when they couldn't come up with the answer, when the pastor couldn't come up with the answer, so go back to the children's class, because
you challenging me.
I'm challenging him. And I was like, well, he said, who are you to question God? And I said, well, who are you to be his servant and messenger and not have his
and not have the answer? How can
Go back to the youth Bible study. Nah, because you don't even know as an adult. So what they gonna tell me as a youth?
Yeah.
And after that, I wasn't even, like, I used to fake sick, put the fucking hold thermometer to the light and all that shit. After that, I just told my mom, like, yeah, I ain't going back.
I'm not doing that.
Like, I ain't going back.
I don't force religion on my kids like it was forced on me. Like, I didn't have a choice. My grandma raised me, so it was like, you're getting up and going to church. You're going to be in the choir. You're going to be an usher. You're going to go to Bible study.
Right.
Like, I had to do all those things. It wasn't a choice. Now, when my kids were really little, we all got baptized. But as far as just like forcing them to go to church and stuff like that, no.
I wasn't baptizing my kids, but two of them made the conscious decision on their own to get baptized. My daughter made the decision to do it twice.
Okay.
She recently got baptized, and she got baptized a few years ago, her and my son. Listen, that is not how I raised them, but I did raise them to keep an open mind regardless of what. I can tell you, you are divine. I can tell you, you are your soul controller. You are, as a black man to my boys, the maker, the owner, the creamer. I could tell you all that. I've never shown my kids, well, they've seen the lessons, the 5% lessons. They've never like really studied them outside of the alphabet and the math. But the way I see it is, the same way I went through my own personal journey, being raised in the church, I'm gonna let them go through their own personal journey. They ain't gotta be 5%ers if they don't want to be. Like, they don't have to be. I'm not forcing that on them. I know enough 5%ers that were born and raised, and I watch them in their everyday life, and I think often, like, how you see that? Like, how your parents see that? Like, I know you wasn't raised like that.
Right.
But because at the end of the day, we are all individuals that have to make our own decisions. Like, I'm a firm believer that heaven and hell exists right here and now.
Yes.
You create your own heaven, you go through your own hell,
Yes.
whatever it is. Paradise is what you want it to be. Hell is the conditions that you're going through when shit is not going your way to manifest your paradise.
Absolutely.
Again, the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Like, why I gotta die for that?
Right.
Why I gotta die to be happy? That don't even make no fucking sense. That cannot be what your creator put me here for.
Right. Right.
Like, tests, trials, and tribulations, okay. But I have to die for happiness?
Yeah.
I just don't see that. I die every day too.
So I always do these little affirmation
I
cards,
was
right?
gonna ask you where your cards were.
I didn't bring them, but I took a picture of the one, and it says, I forgive myself for my mistakes. Then the back of it, and what I like about these cards is they have like thought-provoking questions on the back. What's my biggest mistake or regret? And what kinds of lessons have I learned from it? What's my biggest mistake or regret?
That's deep.
It is deep, because I really try to live my life with no regrets.
So we had that conversation where
what
we
I'm
don't
saying?
really
So,
deal in regrets.
To think that I regret something, or I mean, we all make mistakes all the time, but mistakes are also learning tools.
Right.
So,
I don't know. I may not have made my biggest yet.
I don't think I made
and
my
I
biggest.
say that because I honestly can't be like, ooh, I really regret such as, like, that's why I'm like, I don't know if I made my biggest mistake, because I don't really have too many regrets. There are things that I've done that I could have done differently. Knowing what I know now, I don't be like, oh, I wish I did that different because I didn't know what I knew then
There you
in
go.
order to do it differently.
In order to do it different.
But it's like
you made the mistake, you reflected back on it, and it's like, okay, don't do that
again, or don't do it in that way.
But there
And
you
again,
go.
that's the whole purpose of it. It's the lesson. So maybe I just haven't made my biggest mistake yet.
And it's crazy because I used to live my life thinking that, oh, having a kid at 17, that was a mistake. No, it wasn't a mistake. It was what was supposed to happen in my life at the time. And she's one of the best gifts that I could have ever gotten.
Right.
Shout out to my baby girl. Well, she's not. Well, she's always going to be
She's always
going to
be your baby.
But she's going to be celebrating her 26th birthday,
Right.
March 2nd. I'm so excited.
So that you say that was your biggest mistake. Like sometimes you think that, and then there's people who
Because that's what was instilled in me. You know, I'm in high school and they're like, you're making a mistake. Why would you want to have a baby so young and da-da-da? But it wasn't a mistake. It was
Feliz miércoles.
Yes. Good morning, DJ Nate. It was actually motivation.
Right. And then there's women who are in their 40s who didn't have that first baby at 17, the second one at 25, the third and fourth at 32 and 33, and now they don't have kids, and they sitting there like, damn, what if?
Yeah.
I just be like, you'd have been done by now.
That's how I look at it.
You
Like,
have an adult
I'm glad
that gets
I
on
had
your
mine
motherfucking
young.
nerves by
I don't
now.
regret being a mom at 17. I don't regret it. I don't feel like I made a mistake. I feel like that was the best thing that could have happened to me at that time because it saved me from a lot of shit. Like I probably would have started stripping because I was homeless. My mom was on drugs. I was trying to graduate from high school.
Right.
Like I was going through so much at the time. Shout out to DJ Pauly.
Yes.
P. Don't forget the fucking baby. And tune in tonight for her and the gang.
And the gang.
7 to 8. So for me, it was just like that little girl saved my life. Because instead of me just always being out on the streets and doing reckless things, I, unlike my friends at the time, I had to be a mom. I had to be responsible for somebody else other than myself.
Right.
I ended up getting my own place at a very young age. So it was literally me and my daughter, and we grew up together. You know,
Just so folks know, I feel like no matter how old you are when you have a child, you grow up with that child. And I say that because if you're a very young person having a child, yes, you legit grow up with that child because you're going through the same teenage and maturity.
Yeah.
But because especially when you have multiple kids, you're never the same parent you are with each child.
Thank you for saying that, because I said that to my daughter one day. She was like, what do you mean? I said, I'm a better parent
You're never
the second and the third time around
you should
than
be.
I was.
You're not always, but you should be. But
Right.
again, you're growing up with each child. You know
Yeah.
what I just learned at this big old age, and I'll be 49? I was talking to
I
my
love you
mom.
this big old age.
Because I was talking to my mom, and she said she intentionally had her kids as far apart as she did. Like, I just made the assumption that she had my sister because she had my sister when she was 15. She turned 16 like the month after my sister was born. And then she had me at 23. She was married then and had been working her job and had a house and all that. But I just thought that maybe because she was a teen mom, she waited. And then she had my younger sister when she was 30. And she said, no, she kind of did it intentionally to focus on each child.
Individually.
Right, so that each child could have a childhood.
Nice.
Because again, she grew up with my sister because she was 15. That's a baby having a baby.
A real baby.
And she got a job at 16 and she retired from that job in her 40s. Like, yeah, my mom started working for Bell Atlantic and she retired from Verizon. And so she had a baby when she was a baby, and then she had another child when she was a young woman, and then she had another child when she was a woman fully into her marriage, like some years at this point, 30, hitting another level of maturity in life. And I was just like, that's interesting. I never even thought about like that you intentionally did it. I'm just thinking maybe we just ain't some fertile people.
You're right. No, she's
But
like, I pump my brakes.
Right. My older sister had her first and only child at 30. I had my first at 23, my second at 36, and my younger sister, her kids are 3 years apart. So like,
That's crazy. It's dope when you can plan for your children that way.
Yeah, like,
mine weren't planned.
that I feel like, well, I will say mine wasn't planned, but I guess it was. I talked about it enough with his father. I kept saying, my mom was 23 when she had me. I wouldn't mind being 23 when I had my kid. I remember we would have conversations about when we were going to have a child, if we were going to have a child, because we appreciated each other, the type of parents that we wanted to be. Now, mind you, we don't like each other for real as boyfriend and girlfriend, but we definitely appreciate the kind of parents that we're trying to be. And literally we broke up, and then it was a snowstorm and I got pregnant.
Well,
Because where else you gonna go in the
I
snowstorm?
mean, what else you gonna do?
What else you gonna do?
Fucking hibernate, stay
But
warm.
drive from the northeast down to
You gotta hibernate, stay warm. Is what you got to do.
yes, for days at a time. Like can't even see your car; it's covered by snow. And then you wonder why you gotta go tell your parents you're pregnant.
I mean, nah. I want to get into what you was talking about on your show though, because that shit is tripping me out.
About the girl, about
Yeah,
Risa Tisa
About the
and her lying ass
That
husband.
lying ass husband. Let's
Or
talk about this for a
pathologically.
minute.
So it's such a rabbit hole that I went down that I done dug up videos from her ex-husband's first wife.
Oh no!
The girlfriend that he had, I think, prior to her, and the ex-wife's
Can I just
son.
get a shot in here?
Listen,
I don't feel like I need all
if you're
the
doing a shot, yeah, you can pour your own
the extra
trouble.
pomp and circumstance.
Yeah, no, I need the extra pump and
I
circumstance.
just need the right there. Go ahead, let's go. I'm ready.
Oh,
to listen.
so basically, for those of you who aren't aware, if you've been living under a rock for the past week, there's a woman named Risa Tisa on TikTok, and her therapeutic way of dealing with divorcing a narcissistic, pathological, lying ass husband was talking about it on social media, just getting it out in 50 parts, 7 hours, 21 minutes. I was at work. I was taking
You
showers.
watched all of it?
What? Well, I
Oh
didn't
my
watch it. I mean, I
God.
listened to a lot of
Well,
it because,
yeah.
like, she's in her car a lot commuting
Okay.
or getting ready for bed, and I didn't need to see all that. But she talking about how she was married to a man who was a pathological liar, and how she found out during the course of their marriage, and how ultimately she ended up putting him out on his birthday and getting her divorce papers. I think it was either later that day or later that week or around the same time, maybe a month later. So when her divorce papers finally came in the mail, and how she didn't, because she, as a woman nearing 40, wanted so bad to be married and wanting so bad to have a specific type of husband, not even partner, a husband, that she ignored every red flag known to man and woman.
Like people try to, the red flags is trying to be like the matador. Like, bitch,
I
it's
made
a flag.
I
bitch, you
made
don't
the
see it.
listen, I made the joke the other day. The first thing she said was, my husband was born and raised in Philly. I said, oh, red flag number one, sis. What? You got duped by a Philly nigga? Of course you did.
Of course you did.
Because they the best
They the
to do it.
slickest of the
They
slickest
the
of
best
the
to
slickest.
do
I
it.
promise you. I think they slicker than New York motherfuckers. Like,
Oh, for sure. Let me tell
Philly
you.
niggas is slick.
I give Philly niggas a hard way to go, but guess what? I don't want nothing else. It ain't nothing better. I promise you. That's how she got tricked, because ain't nothing better. I don't want to say in this world, because there's some places I haven't been, but I've been to Rotterdam that was full of niggas that look like Philly niggas, but they all had accents and they wore like European cut jeans.
I'm
and
loving the
that,
accent.
so that was the one thing that I was like, all right, you ain't from Philly, but ain't nothing like a Philly nigga. And yes, see,
Shout out to my cousin Jenna.
Yes, Jenna watched all 50 parts. The shit was definitely crazy. Jenna, Google Risa Tisa husband Legion and watch his shit, and Google Legion's first ex-wife. I went down the whole entire rabbit hole. This man gonna try to say she a liar, but he got 3 other bitches talking about some. Nah, sis was pretty much on point, and I feel bad that she ended up marrying him. So she wanted to be married so bad that she was on 2 dating sites. Matched with this man on 2 dating sites. One, he was under his real name. The other, he was under a variation of his name, like a nickname. And he didn't even realize that they matched on both sites. She said in hindsight, she thinks that he got to know her profile so well that he was able to speak her love language, because he literally did everything right enough to make her ignore the red flags.
He studied her profile.
He studied her and her profile. He knew the type of man she was looking for, and this nigga he need to go on tour with Jacarius Johnson on the Chitlin circuit. He's such a good actor, because I got a handicap joint up in there. I get an hour free. I ain't shit for no one.
The Meter Ninjas is outside.
Yeah, the Meter Ninjas is outside.
Y'all think Parking Wars is a fucking TV show. That shit is real life for us.
I put the little
Philly.
handicap joint up in there. I get an hour. But yeah, so she
I gotta fucking look this shit
listen,
up.
Risa Tisa, Reesa Teesa, sis went through it. So they met on these dating sites. They went out. She said when they were talking on their date, it was like they knew each other forever. They just talking. She said he played, I forget what song he played, something corny and cheesy. And I was just like, oh, he got you with the R&B. I'm a North Philly chick, and nigga ain't gonna get me with the R&B.
You might get me with the R&B depending on what song it is. Yeah. You might get me with the R&B. I ain't gonna get me with the R&B. I fell for
different.
The R&B shit.
I'm different. You ain't gonna get me with the R&B. I barely listen to. If I'm listening to R&B, I'm either depressed, in a good mood, or need to clean my house. Like,
you can get me with music in general. Like if we connect off of a certain song, it could be Caribbean music, it could be hip hop, it could be R&B. But if a connection is and that's fucked up that he played on her emotions like that, because when you connect with somebody you really think is genuine.
Listen. He told her that he just got back to the Georgia area from California, where he divorced his ex-wife. She was living in California. He was in California because he went to San Diego State. He was also an ex-arena football player. Google, sis. This was in 2020. I don't know. She met him in February 2020. She was pregnant and having a miscarriage by August of 2020. He was living there by March when the world shut down. They were married by August, and then is when she started paying attention to all the signs that told her, like, pump your motherfucking brakes. This nigga crazy, a liar.
Crazy. See, somebody like that is scary. Like, you might kill me.
He's
like,
beyond. No, he ain't a killer.
Weird.
He ain't a killer, but he invented people, or not even invented people. There were people in his life that existed, but they were dead, and he convinced her that he was talking to these people. He would be on the phone with nobody. This motherfucker said that he was a VP. Yes, you have to watch it. I promise you, I was not trying.
Kiki,
but after seeing 4 of my girlfriends watch it, and one of my girlfriends who was married twice said that what reeled her in was it felt like she was telling her life. Damn. And I was like, well, damn, because this is one of my really good sisters, and I was like, I don't ask those questions. She'll tell me in her time. She talks about what she needs to talk about for her healing, but I didn't ask, like, damn, I was just at your wedding. What happened to your husband? Like, and she said the story was so similar. That's what got her. So I had to watch it because I'm like, fuck that. Smart, beautiful women I know is getting played. Let me make sure that I don't get played in this manner, because Lord knows
that sound like niggas
I
is
got
out here
enough
watching
motherfuckers playing
Lifetime.
with me. Like,
the men out here watching Lifetime and we watching Snap. Like, I feel like shit roles have changed. Like, bitches is watching Snap, then niggas is watching Lifetime.
The nigga lied. He put down on his marriage, their application for the marriage license, that he had been married once. Turns out he had been married twice. Turns out she found out about the first marriage by digging up his grandmother's obituary.
I cannot.
She had to dig up
he was in there listed
with a wife.
Child.
And then he had to dig up his mother. She dug up his mother's obituary, and that's how she found out that he didn't have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. He only had 2 brothers. And
where sister come from?
This nigga made up 2 sisters, a bitch named Shantae and a bitch named Kim. Kim was his cousin, and Shantae just don't exist. This is where people kept asking her, well, do you think he was schizophrenic?
No, he is.
What up, cuz?
Schizophrenic.
I see Maul on.
Like, are you kid? Like, you gotta be split in real life.
Shout out to my cousins for always tuning in.
Shout out
all my cousins by
you
tangent.
Gotta be split in real life. Did you see the movie Split?
I did.
That's my shit.
Something was going on. Something was going on.
That's the one movie that made me be proud to be a dysfunctional person who's been through some shit. Because Split didn't kill the people who've been through some shit.
That was a movie that made me realize I don't have DID. I don't have split personalities. I really do just see things in a multitude of ways. This nigga right here.
He was on a...
But the way she found the ill shit is she worked in law enforcement, meaning that she worked at the sheriff's office as a civilian, and she went to take another law enforcement job, and because now she's married, she needed her husband's social security number. He was like, "What you need all that for?" That's another red flag.
That's a red flag.
Nigga, why is you scared to give me your social?
If you don't get out of here.
And she noticed he put down a different social than on the marriage license, and that's what opened up Pandora's box. The crazy thing is, she wanted to be married with a husband of a specific type so bad that when she ran the social the first time, the social that he used that was fake and nothing came back, she was relieved. She was just like, "Oh, ain't nothing wrong."
No,
I would have been like, "No, something wrong." He had to have a parking ticket or something. He told me he's been married. How nothing come up?
Yes,
nothing. Yeah, it was insane. Like, the story is insane.
But you know what? That resonates with me because sometimes as women, we put these deadlines on ourselves. Oh, when I turn 40, I have to be married, or when I get to this age or this stage in my life, I have to be here, there, there. And then you put this pressure on yourself, and then you end up with a motherfucker like that.
You know what's crazy? I said, you're right. I might need to top this off.
I
just want to be drunk. That's all.
Me too. Just give me a little more.
You gotta pour your own trouble.
Why?
I will say this. I've never wanted. I say it all the time. Like my most recent, like legit ex. Like we spent 13 years in a situationship, and of that 13 years, 1 year together. If I just wanted to be married for the sake of saying my husband, or if I wanted to be married for love, I would be married.
But I've been married. I've been married twice, people. I've been married twice. So the first time I got married shotgun wedding. I was pregnant with my son, and I was like, well, it was more him. I don't want to have a bastard child. Da, 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 da. And I got married. Boom. Second time I got married off of, in my opinion, the other party might disagree, but for me, it was like, I'm 40, either shit or get off the pot. Like, we need to be, and da da da. And then the next year we got married. Then shortly after that we were separated. And it was like, dang, should I have even put that pressure on?
Marriage is a business.
And that's the way I looked at it.
That's why you need a license and a contract. It's a business
contract. So for me, it was like, well, we've been together all these years, so fuck it. I might as well have the contract to protect me, so that if we invest in anything, if something happens to you, if something happens to me or these kids, somebody gonna be all right. So that was what it was for me. It was more of a business contract. But even with that, people, I'm saying that to say, don't do it. If you are not marrying this person because you genuinely love and like that person.
Nope.
At
marriage
the end of the
is
day,
a business.
It is. But you can
also
grow
be to love your business partner
with a motherfucker you can't stand.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So you already can't stand them. Don't sign that contract.
Nah, not if I know they're going to take care of my business. Fuck that.
But they might not. You might sign a contract with a motherfucker that'll fuck your life up.
You'll do that if you love them. That's what I'm saying.
Now you paying child support for some kids that don't belong to you because y'all married.
Marriage is a business. I'll end up. I have a feeling if I ever get married, I'm going to end up growing to love my husband. Not saying that I won't never, or I might not even love them. In that. Like I'll marry a friend first, because again, it's a business.
I don't believe in love at first sight. So I believe that you do grow to love somebody. I don't believe in love at first sight.
You said that we as women put stipulations on ourselves. I will say the one thing that I'm super grateful knowledge of self gave me was ignoring all that shit. Ignoring all that shit. As a woman, I should be. Nah.
And sometimes it don't be just yourself. It be society standards.
Fuck society.
Family
That's what I'm saying. Knowledge of self gave me all that. Yeah. Fuck society. Right. Society ain't, nah. Yeah. Y'all don't even know what's really going on across the black diaspora to be telling me how I should be operating in my blackness in this here new millennium.
And real quick before we go, I was on your Instagram page, and I don't know if it's real or not, but if Beyonce is bleaching her skin, I'm so
okay, first of all, it was because today is What the Fuck Wednesday. I'm not gonna say she's bleaching her skin. I'm just saying that I've been said Queen Bee been looking mighty light lately, and everybody's like, she's wearing her winter skin. Well, she's been looking that light since her fucking Renaissance tour. She's been using less bronzer, I will say.
And now this blonde hair just makes her look even more.
That's what it is. I'm not trying to say that Beyonce. First of all, and I ain't scared of the Beehive. Fuck y'all, but
I'm a Beehiver, and
I'm not saying I think that. I'm just saying that people are very contradictory in how they shit on other people for lightening their skin. They'll shit on somebody,
but because you're a fan of Beyonce, she can't do no wrong. No, she can fuck up too. Beyonce can do some fucked up shit too. Well, listen, people, we have come to the end of our show, and now it's time to say goodbye to all my Negro friends. Thank you, Roz, for pulling up on me. It was the crossover show. This was the Thinking Over a Drink podcast today. We crossed over with the Over a Drink podcast, and this is Thinking Outside the Box. I am
Auntie
Nelly Yoga, your favorite yoga soldier, aka the Yoga Broad, and this is my sis.
I am iRise. You can catch me on the gram, HighRise 420, all things 420 related. You can catch me on iRise Promo Life. DM me, I'll promo your shit. You can catch me on Over a Drink 215, and definitely here on Glockaware Mondays from 5 to 6 with my bro B Manly.
Shout out to my bro. I fucks with B. So make sure y'all tune in. Stay tuned in tonight for Paulie and the Gang
Pauly
from
and the
7 to 8.
gang.
And stay tuned in all
The
week.
new show. We got the Chronic Conversation.
Chronic
That's coming up first at 5.
That comes up first. Yes, I
social
love it.
movement.
Our
social
roster
music
is
movement.
growing.
Our roster is growing.
And Sister Talia with the social music
More
movement.
Glockaware promo.
podcast.
I noticed something. So my brother Black Ice, the legendary poet Black Ice, is being honored, and I saw in the bottom corner of the flyers it's being supported by Glockaware. So
Powered
yes,
by Glockaware.
shout out to Sister Talia.
Yes, shout out to Sister Talia.
Yes.
She's doing big things. I know she has an event coming up this Saturday too. So I'm gonna try to
It's that
split
event.
myself.
It's
Yes.
that event.
So I'm gonna
I said
try to shout out.
and that's
to-
over at 3 a.m. So I said I'm gonna try to come through.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to
when I get off work.
City of Dreams Coalition. What time you get off? You might be able to pick me up. I'm on
I get
phone
off.
call.
I get
You
off
the
at
airport.
9:30.
Oh no, I'll be just starting.
At 12.
Yeah, my shit over at 12. But listen, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all download the Glockaware app, view, like, share, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. We're on all platforms. The Light in Me.